Hello, and welcome back to another Snapshot review episode. This week there's actually quite a few changes that we get to talk about, so this might be a little bit of a longer video. So we'll just get straight into it. The first thing I'm gonna talk about, these are pretty basic to understand. I don't see any real need to demonstrate them. So there's 5 new commands. And each of them affects a different thing. So the first one is generic.gravity. It just controls how fast you're falling downward, and I think you can set that to a negative number, so then it's levitation, so you can actually fly up instead of down, which kind of interesting. Generic.safe fall distance actually controls the distance after which you will take no damage. Like, for example, if I built up a few blocks and then fell, you would see I'd take damage. You can actually change that from 3 blocks. 3 blocks is the default, so anything above the default you actually take damage from. This can be set to a negative number, so you can actually just take damage as you walk off a block, so that's kind of fun, kind of interesting. Then there's generic.fall damage multiplier, which just multiplies the overall fall damage amount. It multiplies it so it makes it bigger and bigger from the same distance. So like if you fall from 4 blocks, instead of taking a half-hearted damage, you could take a lot more. Like you could make it a high number, so you take a lot more, or you could make it a low number, so you take a lot less. There's a new one that actually kind of combines one that existed before. It's called generic jump strength. The one that existed before was horse jump strength, so this one just applies to all entities. The generic one, it's just how strong your jump is. That's really all it is. So it's like super powerful jump boost. And then there's block break speed, which is set high enough you can just insta-mine blocks. It's pretty crazy. You can set it to a really high number. If you set it to 0, you just can't break anything at all, even if you would normally be able to insta-break it, that sort of thing. Alright, and so that was all of the commands. There's plenty of other things that you could look at in the article, in the description, if you wanted a little bit more detail. Now we're going to go into what's coming for, actually, there's one other thing, which is actually a hopper update. So this is basically just changing how hoppers work with full blocks. Now, both of these are like visually full blocks, but mud you actually sink down just a little bit, and so items can be picked up by a hopper, and there were some glitches apparently that hoppers could like suck items through full blocks like this, and so they've changed it so that the hopper doesn't like constantly check to do this, like to try and suck the items through it, just for performance, just for performance, and that sort of thing. Yeah, so there's that. That's pretty decent change for just redstone people who are very interested in redstone, unlike me. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be talking about is actually some changes and additions with the breeze. So I'm going to get a breeze to spawn, just like that. Alright, so we've got the breeze, right? I'm going to grab myself just an axe, a weapon, and I'm going to kill the breeze, because there's actually no drop for the breeze if you kill it. And that is a wind charge. You can actually get between 4 to 6 for each breeze that you kill, and it works almost exactly like their charges, where it does knockback damage and it does just a tiny bit of damage, And it does also do, like, knockback, if you just hit right near, any entities, but it seems to do, I think, a little bit more knockback if you hit them. It's a little bit hard to tell, but it's a new projectile that you can throw, and it's actually got a really cool 3D animation, which I will show a little bit better above ground, where I'll just have like a line of dispensers firing them at a time, firing a bunch of them at a time. And you may have also noticed that there's a change to the vault and how they look, and, well, I'm sure you noticed because there's a huge difference between the spawner, like this one, and the new vault block, so that this got a whole revamped texture. It looks a lot better, and it's more easily distinguishable from the spawner. Alright, let's take a look at the model for the breeze charge, I believe is what it's called, right? Wind charge, that's what it's called. So you can kind of see that it looks very similar to the breeze charge as well. You can also use it to, like, use movement, sort of. Like, I don't think you can really get super high with it. Well, I guess if you jump... Well, I guess if you jump with it, you gain a little bit of height, but it's really not that much. And also, you're not going to be taking fall damage from the peak. Like, the fall damage won't start at the peak of your like height. It'll actually start at the Y level that the wind charge actually hit, like where the player collided with the wind burst, I guess. So I would have taken damage from probably the top of this tree down. So, you know, not terribly important to know, but kind of important to know. I don't know. I'm just reading what the article says. That's all I'm doing. So we've actually got the last tweaks to the armadillo in this snapshot, and basically the first thing is that they're not just gonna freak out and run away when you hit them, and so they're just gonna curl up into the ball like that. There's also a really cool animation, a new animation from when they're about to come out. If we just wait, look at that. That was pretty cool, I thought. So they just peek out their head and their legs before they roll out, just to see if the coast is clear, basically. So that is the last few changes to the armadillo, and then there's also one major change to tamed wolves. Basically, their health has been doubled, so then everything else just scales with it. So before they took half the damage from most sources, and like feeding the wolf is now gonna do twice as much as it used to, that sort of thing. So instead of having 10 hearts like the player, they have 20 hearts. So that is the very last change. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time, or later when I stream. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!